Welcome to Bad Teacher Tales, real talk, stories, and advice for teachers and those who love them. Each episode, Scara and Sly bring you the good, the bad, and the what the hell of daily teacher life. If we make you laugh, gasp, or question your career choices, hit like, share, and subscribe. Have a story to share? Link is in the notes. Drop it like a late assignment. All educational contributors are welcome, even our heroic custodians. You see everything and know the real dirt, so don't be shy. Send it in. These opinions aren't necessarily those of the hosts or Bad Teacher Tales. Some content may not be suitable for children. I know. Listener discretion advised.
Welcome to Bad Teacher Tales. As you listen to this episode, keep in mind that this is a self-produced and edited podcast with no prior knowledge of how podcasts work. I have learned and grown since these earlier episodes. I promise the quality gets better as you move through Season 1 and into Season 2. As an educator, I value the learning process and work to give my students grace as they make mistakes along the way. Please allow us these same considerations while listening to these earlier episodes. Thank you.
You know what I had to do the other day?
What?
I had to ask students to turn to page 69.
Oh, dear God. This is going to go really well.
All teachers, I think, know how it goes when, I call them the 69 days. It was a 69 day where I had to say, hey, students, I'm going to need you to turn to page 69 in your workbooks and hear all the giggles.
Turn to page 68. Now go one more.
That's pretty smart.
Turn to page 70. Now go back one.
Do they figure out what you're doing when you do that, though?
They're like, why didn't you just say it? You know exactly why I didn't say it. Because when you said it, everyone started laughing. Where did you just say 69? That's why. That right there.
And then you ask them, why are you laughing? Why is it funny? And they have no idea. Yeah. They just know to laugh.
It stops really fast when you go, oh, is that funny? Do you want to call and tell your mom while it's funny? And they find it significantly less funny when they have to explain it to their mother in front of you. They don't like that at all.
That's good. I like that strategy.
It is fun.
I didn't get as many Snickers this year as usual, but I did get what I always get is, what page was that again?
No.
You heard me.
Yep.
Ask a neighbor.
That was a big one when calling your mom and doing it for your mom was the big thing when like everybody was moaning in class. Do you remember when that came around?
No, I didn't have that.
About 2-3 years ago. Not even. It was like maybe last
TikTok
year.
challenge?
It was like making like inappropriate noises. Catch my yes. Right. So in class, and I was like, okay, you're gonna need to stop now, or you're gonna call and make that noise for your mother. And they stopped very fast. Because nobody wants to do that for their mama.
I'm gonna keep that one in my back pocket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You do that. It's fun. The color leaves their face very quickly.
But I did also have the same day when it's kind of like my own, like why we do this. I haven't been feeling great the last couple of weeks, and this day in particular, I was really run down. And so I can't remember what exactly was happening. Oh, I had a meeting during one of my classes, and I showed two of the leaders in that class. We call her Dish Soap and Mini Me, because apparently she is just like me. It's almost eerie. She is literally my Mini Me.
Those are fun.
So we call her my Mini Me. Yeah. But I mean, like, style when I was that age, like, she likes dark things, and
That explains why we're friends.
She thinks the same as me. She's organized like me. It's so weird. But anyway.
It's always fun when you find those kids. Because you're just kind of like, yeah, I get you.
Yes,
we vibe.
I definitely get her. Vibe. And so I had shown these two young ladies what I needed for their next class, because I have them, it's a whole thing. I have them a lot of the day. And so anyway, I get on this meeting, and they just take over. Like, they organized who was doing what. The activity for the day was tracing patterns in different sizes, because we need to make some costumes that use the same patterns, but we need them for different size actors.
Okay.
And so they, like, organized who was doing what and wrote it on the board and wrote, like, I'm like, why am I even here? they're doing my job just as well as I could do it.
And I feel like that is a goal that every teacher should try to achieve in class, is find that student who understands what's going on just well enough that they can run your class decently and teach things though, and like review, not teach, but like review things with your class the way you do, so that if you ever have those days where you're just like, I am a warm body in the room today, and that is the best I can give you.
And this would be better than a sub.
Yes. They can at least run the class and do reviews, and kind of they know what's expected. So they can help a lot in those scenarios. Well, and I call them my little TAs, my little teacher
I like
assistants.
it. And I may have said this before, and I'll probably say it again, but I really live off the motto of the more they do, the less I do. So I'm setting them up for taking care of their stuff in the class, but I really want them to take ownership of anything they're doing. And
oh, did you just say student ownership?
Buzzword.
2 points for Scara. I will email your appraiser.
Oh.
Just, if you dare say clarity in the course of this podcast. I've heard you. You said it
clarity
once.
All the time.
I know. But if you say clarity during this podcast while I'm sitting here, I will go get a shot. I will not make it.
I will probably say clarity at some point in the next 24 hours.
Already.
I already did.
Mm-hmm. Not today, in a previous podcast.
So I do this thing where if I'm in a meeting or really anything that I'm communicating with other coworkers and I need to ask a question, I'll be like, so just for clarity, and then whatever my question is.
I could not do that because it would never come out of me in a sincere manner. There would always be like, the words coming out of my mouth would not match the look on my face, because the look on my face would be like, just for clarity, because everybody knows I disdain that word. And that word has become subject of a drinking game.
It probably could, but I kind of like it.
I do, but I
like the whole push for clarity, because I get why it's important.
I do.
And I like all the tools.
I do.
And so I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid.
But they said it way too much during the training while giving absolutely no clarity. I left an 8-hour training not knowing what I was supposed to be doing.
That is true. I had to figure it all out for myself.
So clarity is a trigger word for me.
For probably most of us.
And I left that. I've never been so upset after an amazing 8 hours of PD in my life. Aww. But now every time someone says clarity, my brain shuts off and I stop listening. So I then need to ask for said clarity because I don't know what's going on.
Welcome to Bad Teacher Tales, where each week we share the good, the bad, and the what the hell of daily teacher life. We'll expose workplace woes that range from unrealistic to impossibly asinine. We'll postulate on parental problems and admin antics. We might even learn a helpful tip or trick. And while we may be bad teachers, we will always leave remembering our why. Those beautiful, bright, baffling students. The opinions read in this episode do not necessarily reflect those of the hosts or Bad Teacher Tales. Some language and situations may be unsuitable for children. Ironic, I know. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Scara, and I am a middle school theater director, fine arts department head, new teacher mentor, dance team and pep squad coach, and national board candidate. You're going to hear a different co-host today. Unfortunately, Stevie had to step away for a little bit and focus on some family stuff. So I will be using different co-hosts until she is ready to join us again. So please welcome Sly, who is here with us today.
Hi, I'm Sly. I am a middle school choir director. This is my 13th year teaching. Seen a lot.
Haven't we all? Well, welcome, Sly. Today I am going to share with you a story from a middle school coach from Springfield, Missouri.
That's exciting. Let's hear what they do up in Missouri.
He says, when you first get hired at my district, they give you a small chunk of days, Part of those days can be used as health leave, and the other part can be used as business leave. Each year you get 3 health leave days and 3 business leave days. You can use as needed throughout the year.
That's 6. That's 6.
Yeah, that's like nothing.
We get 10.
And 10 is not enough most.
Especially if you have kids.
Right? Because they get
forbid,
sick forever.
You get COVID because they took away the COVID days now because apparently that's not a thing anymore.
But you still have to stay home.
But you still have to stay home. Don't come to school.
All right, so 3 health leaves, 3 business leaves. So 3 things by choice and 3... Okay. One year, the district started releasing to teachers and staff a calendar of school days where you were not allowed to use your personal days.
I feel like I know where this is going. Something, let me guess. Foreshadowing. Something tells me that if you take those days off, you are going to get your pay docked. I really don't want that to be where this is going, but something tells me that's where it's going.
Well, I mean, once you use those 6 days, it gets docked anyway, so I imagine that's what's starting to happen here. Let's see.
Yay.
He goes on. If you used a sick day during one of the dates on the calendar, you had to have a doctor's note when you returned back to school. Prior to this year, you only needed a doctor's note if you were sick consecutive days. Well, that makes sense if you're consecutive days, right?
Yeah, but not for a single day. Because, like, if you have, like, explosive diarrhea, you're not going to go to the doctor for that.
Thanks. Just
well,
what we all needed.
Honest. You're not going to go anywhere. Not the doctor, not anywhere.
The reason for this policy change was because a lot of teachers were taking off on PD days. These are our training days, or around the holidays, and the district wanted teachers to stop. Okay, like, I get it.
Get better PD. That's all I can say. People won't skip it if it's actually interesting.
And relevant. I do, you know what? So
Keyword,
this
relevant.
this is important. If any administrators out there listening, when you have a theater or a choir or a band director sitting in on a deep data dive into the standardized test scores and what they mean for their students, you are not having a good use of our time, because those are not things that we can do. We don't have those scores. We score things differently.
Yeah, and we don't know what to do with them. They don't mean anything to us. We can't apply them in any way. Like, if you want me to spend my time data digging, let me know that at the beginning of the year that that's something that I need to have prepared for next year, and I will have data coming out my ears, because I always do. But that isn't how fine arts dig through data.
Right, and we can create data, we can gather data. It just needs to look differently, and we have to do it. It's not done for us.
Data digging is helpful if you know the TEKS. I don't know the 7th grade TEKS for science, or the 6th or the 8th. I'm of no use to that.
Right. So if that's what we're doing on PD days, we're probably not going to want to
be there,
right? This is a coach. So if he's a coach, then data, again, these scores are not relevant to this teacher. And he is saying that just a lot of teachers were taking off PD days, so I wonder if in general it wasn't the best. I do appreciate what our district has done lately, and PDs have grown. And then on top of that, the fine arts PDs are now done off campus with content. So I get to go to and see all the middle school theater directors, and we get to have our PD together.
Yeah.
And our fine arts director hires people in the field to do these PD days for us.
It's actually helpful and stuff you can immediately take back and use.
Right. They're fun and a good use of our time. I don't like skipping PD days anymore because of this.
Yeah, because it's a chance to, have adult conversation with people who understand your job.
Adult conversation.
And I do understand the day before the holidays.
We only get to holiday during the peak time, so it's more expensive. So maybe leaving that Friday and having a plane that's half as much. We are teachers after all. He goes on, a lot of teachers started asking questions when they first rolled out, and my administrator at the time, I think, got kind of overwhelmed with all the questions and started telling everyone, if you take one of these days off without a doctor note, then the district will dock your pay for that day.
Ding, ding, ding. I win. I called it.
This happened to several teacher friends of mine during the second year of this policy. During the second year of this policy, the district expanded the calendar of days teachers would not be allowed to use their personal leave to 45 days.
That's like a third of the school year.
Right? The kids, what do we have? The kids for, well, we have the
190 days, we have the kids. Well, we're contracted.
We're contracted.
So we have them for like 170.
So it's
probably.
like a fourth of contract. Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's nuts. There were 2 weeks at the beginning and the end of the year where you couldn't use your leave. There was the week before and after spring break, the whole week, and Thanksgiving, the day preceding and following every federal holiday, all professional developed days, and my personal favorite, the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Be responsible, y'all.
I took a day off on January 10th that year. Well, okay, but maybe the day after the Super Bowl, you just use one of your sick days. Tell a doc.
I feel like that explosive diarrhea story is just coming back.
And I feel like now we got Teladoc, so you can get that doctor's note.
Right? There you go.
Hey,
you don't even have to leave the house.
I wonder if this was pre-COVID. I took a day off, he says, on January 10th that year. I was attending a coaching conference with some friends of mine, but it was not a district event, so I had to use a personal leave day. I knew from others that the district would be docking my pay since I would not have a doctor's note upon returning the following Monday.
You're literally paying to go learn stuff and get better at your job.
Why would they dock his pay so that he can go to a coaching conference? A conference is fun, sure, but that's PD for us.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of stuff in the district they can't always, especially if you work in a smaller district, they can't afford to get all the coaches together and all of that stuff.
That's fine, but let the man have his conference without docking his pay.
Yeah,
and he's
ridiculous.
even using a day.
Yeah.
It's not like he's saying pay for me to be gone.
Exactly. That's ridiculous.
That's something else. On Friday morning around 9:30 a.m., while I was at the conference, my administrator called me and left me a message urging me to come to school. He kept reiterating in the message that even if I was sick, you have to go to the doctor and get a note, so you might as well come to work anyway.
Do you know how much that note costs to just go to the doctor for no reason?
So you already have to take the day off because you're spending money to go to a conference. And let's say this is a local conference, you still have to pay to be there.
But also, I do have a question though. How does his boss not know he's at a conference?
I'm sure he does.
But his boss just said come to work and you need a doctor's note.
All right, let's see. Maybe he tells us that. He kept reiterating in the message that even if I was sick, you have to go to the doctor and get a note, so you might as well come to work anyway. When I returned to school on Monday, I was called into a meeting with my administrator.
Oh, here we go.
He had looked over the reason for taking a personal day that I submitted in our district's absence management program. He informed me that I would be receiving a memo of concern due to my lack of attendance. I also did not get paid for that day. So, it sounds like the principal didn't know why he was gone ahead of time, but this teacher put it into the absence program, which is all we have to do now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not our district, but that's what we use. We use an absence management program. We give our reasoning.
That just tells you, though, that the principals don't actually read that, because you still have to text them when you're not going to be there, because it's like they don't know. Because they don't pay attention.
Well, I guess it depends on their structure, because I message my AP. So the person responsible for doing, like, my appraisal and stuff. So I message them and not the head principal. So
mine is one and the same. My T-test is
gotcha.
Yeah.
But even if he messaged the principal, well,
who has access to see all that?
I would think that, I don't know. I don't know what their parameters are for when you know that you're going to take a day off, because it's not like it was a surprise. He put it in the absence management program. Maybe that's all they're expected to do, and the principal can go and look.
Yeah.
When all this was happening, I remember feeling as if I was being punished for something I wasn't doing. I had great attendance otherwise, and the fact that they wrote me up as if I had an attendance issue was so frustrating.
I I'll bet you that after this episode, he's going to start having an attendance issue. Because I straight up can tell you I would.
That is literally the next sentence.
Hey!
I have definitely used my personal days more liberally since then. Good job, teacher.
Great way to show your employees that you value them is tell them they can't have their days. And they can't take them, because immediately what's going to happen when you punish them for taking them is they're going to be like, okay, watch me take all of them and then some, because the little bit that you do pay me,
not worth it.
Not worth it.
Especially when you're paying to go to the conference and then having to pay for a teledoc to say that you were sick, I suppose. Yep. Although I don't think he needed a teledoc. He didn't need a doctor's note. Mm-hmm. He said he was going for a conference.
You know what? I'll bet you, though, that this policy went away real fast after COVID started. Sorry, I don't have any days left, and I don't want to get doc pay, so I'm going to come to work even though I just got a positive COVID test yesterday.
Oh, well,
and they'd be like, well...
Yeah, you told me I can't just take off.
And I can't go to the doctor every day that I'm off for COVID, so...
All right, Sly, I've got a why we do this for you. This is from a middle school drama teacher from Miami. So we're just going across the U.S. today.
All right, Florida.
Some students are interested right away, and others need some coaxing. I had a student that needed some coaxing. I had been fighting him all year to just try anything, and he just wouldn't. Finally, the last week of school, we did lip sync battles.
Oh, jeez.
And for whatever reason, he decided he wanted to try.
Hey.
He was such a natural. His group's lip sync was hilarious, largely due to him. I confronted him about it after and asked how he felt. He was so excited. He said he enjoyed it so much, and then he confessed that he thought he would enjoy other things in class, but just didn't want to accidentally make a fool of himself.
That's sad.
Now that he had experience of how good it could be, he wanted to pursue it further in high school.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so sweet. Teenagers are so... I remember being so all about myself and self-conscious.
Yeah.
I was not the best theater student in middle school myself, so I get it. But it makes me sad that he wasn't willing to try all the things.
Yeah. No, middle school is weird. And, it's even more strange now because it's kids are skipping the middle school phase. They're going straight from 5th graders to, high school freshmen with the way they dress and the way they act.
They really
They're
are.
skipping that awkward phase where they get to learn who they are and try new things. So, since they're skipping that awkward phase, they're really unsure of who they are and what they like and what they should be doing and why they're in middle school. They're honest to God, they're in survival mode all the time.
Really are.
They're not in the take risks and try new things because somebody might laugh at them. And we all know middle schoolers are incredibly delicate creatures.
And then they're going to put it on social media, or maybe it's recorded, all the things that we didn't have to deal with.
Yes,
it's really
thank
scary.
God. Yeah, no, it's got to be tough being in middle school now, which is why, all the things. But I digress. So I had a student who... She ranked 7th in region this year out of all of the, soprano, out of I think 42 sopranos it went.
So can you explain what that means for our non-music people?
Oh, there
or music adjacent people?
Okay. Do you want me to explain what region is? Or
yeah, what does it mean to be 7th?
Okay, so region is where they learn a very specific, fairly challenging set of music, and then they go and they sing, and they get scored by, judges. It's a blind audition. We can't see them, etc. And we just judge them based on their ability and how things sound and their technique and whatnot. So out of the 42 students that sang the particular voice part that she tried out on, she was the 7th best out of 42. Which is really, really remarkable given the fact that I know she doesn't take private voice lessons. She's just naturally very talented.
And the 42 are more of your top kids, not all the
Yes,
the
these
students.
are the top students from all of the schools in our very, very large district.
And region goes beyond our district, doesn't it?
Not in middle school.
Okay.
They are preparing for all state and region in high school. But for middle school, it sticks here. But she had told me before her Regent audition, she's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do choir next year. And I was dumbfounded. I'm like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? What do you mean you're not going to do choir? You have an amazing voice. You're sitting here trying out for Regent, something you don't have to do. She's like, yeah, but I don't think, all the self-doubt, because middle schoolers genuinely need to be told they're good at stuff.
Yeah.
And they need that encouragement.
And that they're important.
Yes. And so if you're listening, that is the thing I need you to take away from this, is that you need to tell your middle schoolers that they are good and that they should continue to pursue something. But so she comes back after her Regent audition. I messaged her to let her know that she was the 7th chair, meaning she was the 7th best out of the 42. And she was so excited, she decided to stay in choir.
That's
so
awesome.
She is back this year, and thank God for her, because she is such a leader in my group.
I love it. So like this boy in the story who finally tried something, got out of his comfort zone, and now he wants to pursue it in high school. That's such an awesome...
It's amazing. It always feels good when they go on.
Thank you for joining today's episode of Bad Teacher Tales. If we made your day slightly better, or your job seemed slightly less absurd, hit like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps us caffeinated and somewhat functional. Want to share your story anonymously? The link in the notes is open 24/7, something your planning period can only dream of. Just kidding, those don't exist. Stories from all corners of education are welcome. Anyone who witnesses the madness and magic, we want your tales. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bad Teacher Tales to drop your tales, memes, and coping strategies. Got suggestions, comments, questions, or topic ideas? Email us anytime at badteachertales@gmail.com. Unlike Teachers on Fridays, we actually read them. See you again soon. Try not to quit before then.